Hello, my name is Rebecca. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about Poshfest 2019. The tickets go on sale tomorrow, which is May 6th. And I just wanted to chat about what you can expect from Poshfest. If you've been to eBay Open, what is the difference between the two? And if it's worth making the trek out and spending the money to go to the conference. So I know there's gonna be a lot of people searching and trying to find information about Poshfest. Everyone is going to be blowing up social media for, like fear of missing out and all of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to make sure that I just shared my experience. I'm just giving you my experience. I've been to one eBay Open, which was last year, and I've been to two Poshfest. The first Poshfest was in 2017, and I was a speaker. And then in 2018, I was just a guest, a patron. And I had a really good time at both of those. So I thought that I would be really good at. Oh, Cynthia, so where did you see that information that it's October 4th and 5th? Because I heard the 10th and 11th. So if you're watching this today on May 5th, if you're watching this live or you're watching this today, as of May 5th, they have not released the tickets. So I wonder if, let me see something here. I might have updated the website. Let's see. I don't see anything yet. Okay, so, oh, really? I don't think I got an email. Let me see. Oh, I did. All right, so yeah, so there's an email that ambassadors got to buy early access. So it's Friday, October 4th, Saturday, October 5th. And yeah, so that's exciting. I'm definitely about to buy my ticket right now. But anyway, so if you check your email, then there should be tickets. All right, cool. So anyway, I'll get my ticket after we're done. Anyway, I wanted to just chat about Poshfest and find out if you have any questions. So basically the difference between Poshfest and eBay is that eBay is a much larger scale. There's a lot more different sellers. People are selling a lot of different things like antiques and cars and car parts and all sorts of different things on there. And there's people that are selling, multi-million dollars and have thousands and thousands of listings. There's people that are that have I don't know, they're like just the bigger sellers. And then, Poshfest is a much smaller group of people that are all focused on selling boutique items and clothing and shoes. So there's more of a camaraderie and more of a community at the Poshfest, I believe, because the people there are all having similar experiences selling. There's the Poshfest is similar to eBay in that it has executives there that you have access to. There's analytics people there that you have access to. There's the data and the programming team is there for Poshfest. They usually make announcements about new features that are coming up. They take your feedback for what you want to see coming in the future. So there's all these different things that are happening at Poshfest. eBay is a little bit different. I kind of felt like eBay Open was large. They had a multitude of sessions going on at the same time. Half of them were irrelevant to me and my business. And then the ones that were relevant, I felt were very basic. They were meant for new sellers. And, Poshfest is for new sellers too, but there is an opportunity to interact with more of the sellers who are selling a lot, who are not power sellers, because that's not the term on Poshmark, but who are selling a lot more stuff. So even if the sessions aren't all catered to advanced sellers on Poshmark, you at least get to meet and network with other sellers who are having that larger scale on Poshmark. So there's access for everyone. Last year it was held at a smaller venue, and I think that's why it sold out so fast. In Chicago, the year before, it was at a venue, and it was kind of stinky because people had to go up and down elevators to go to the different sessions, and it was kind of segmented in that way. But last year it was great. Everybody was in the same room. They had lots of opportunities to meet other poshers, to have closet consultations, and all of those kind of things. So eBay has a similar thing. I went and I had an eBay consultation with somebody there, and I have the eBay concierge and all that kind of stuff. But part of my problem with eBay is that I feel like they do not have the best interest of sellers always in mind. And so for me, a lot of the things that they were talking about last year, they were saying they were going to do, they have not followed up on for this year. If you're interested in learning more about my eBay Open experience, I do have other videos on this channel that talk about my eBay Open experience. I also have another video about Poshfest last year. So it goes over, Eleni and I went to Poshfest last year, and we have, we shared our experience on a video. So you would be able to see that like live more in the time that the video was held. So should you go to Poshfest? I don't know. I mean, it really is, that's not a very helpful answer, but part of me feels like if you can afford to go to Poshfest, if your business can afford to go to Poshfest, and you want to go and learn and network and meet other poshers and give feedback to the community and learn from everyone, I do think it's a good opportunity to go. Do you have to go to Poshmark to grow your business? No. If you have that kind of money, but you want to spend it on inventory, I believe that buying inventory and being strategic is a better resource for your funds if you're trying to grow your business than spending it on a ticket and all those kind of things. I am really kind of upset that they're not having it on the East Coast. The farthest east they've been is Chicago. All of them have been, Mountain Time or West, which is great for you, those of you who live in the West. But for those of us on the East Coast, like New York and Philly and DC and Florida and all of us, our flights are going to be really expensive to go to Arizona. So, so it's really going to be a personal decision on whether or not you want to spend the money. I will say that, and people are probably going to get mad at me for saying this, there are groups of friends at Poshfest, and it can seem like a sorority, and I've heard this before, and I say this with like a huge but, there are groups of us that know each other from social media, and there are groups of us that know each other from reselling or Poshfest or Posh live events. But when you go to Poshfest, people kind of have their group and they all sit at their tables, but everyone is very friendly. So there's no reason you can't go up and introduce yourself and meet people. I had a lot of people come up to me last year that, were excited, that were excited about meeting me, which is great. I love it. I love taking pictures. And Eleni was like my personal photographer at Poshfest last year. I got to meet so many of you. And so that's why I enjoy going. I enjoy going to meet everyone and to talk to people and hear their short stories and be able to, in person, inspire others and have other people inspire me. There were some really great stories on the stage of people who use Poshmark as a platform to, whether it's get out of debt or, use it as extra money for college or whatever the case may be. It's really a powerful statement to have people like that up on the stage. So that's, you kind of get caught up in it. Now, I will say there's a huge FOMO on social media when you don't go, but just know that you're going to see this, you're going to see it at eBay Open. And I felt like that in 2017 when I didn't go to eBay Open. And then I spent all the money and I went to eBay Open in 2018. And honestly, I was not very excited about it. So it really is going to depend on whether or not you want to meet people and make those connections, because most of the time, all of the information that is going to be shared, the social media people like me will be either holding live on Instagram, sharing the segments live. People are sharing what the new features are coming up, like in real time. So if you just follow everyone on social media, the people that are at Poshfest, you're going to get the same information as we are getting there. A lot of people are anxious to share, and of course I am. I mean, this is part of my platform is Poshfest and Poshmark. So I like to be able to have this opportunity to meet people. I do enjoy talking to Manish and some of the other employees at Poshfest. And so for me, it's not only an opportunity to meet all of you and learn, but I also like to network with the employees and really get my input in person there. There's also opportunities at Poshfest to actually touch and feel the boutique items. And I know that that's been, if you are in any Facebook groups, you'll see people kind of going crazy about the boutique items and how you shouldn't buy them and they're a waste of money. And it's kind of nice to be able to go there and see the actual people there with their items and feel them and touch them and see them in person. Because I think when you just post the stock photo of the item that you're selling, it doesn't really give a true picture of what that actual item is. And I tell people this all the time when I do coaching sessions and when I do closet consultations, is to make sure you are posting an actual picture of your boutique items. I know it's extra time and I know it's annoying, but I think you will sell more and I think people will be happier with their purchases if they can actually see what that dress really looks like on a mannequin, or what the duster looks like on a hanger. Like, what are these things that you're actually selling? What do they actually look for? Because people now are realizing that some of them either, have a weird smell because they've been stored in plastic, or they're cheap filling because they're from China or whatever. You can actually see a lot of these. And so one of the ones that I really enjoyed was T&J Designs. They were at Poshfest in 2017. And I was always hesitant to buy one of their skirts. They have these really beautiful sequin skirts, but it was great to be able to see them and feel them and touch them, because I was just afraid that I would buy this skirt and it would just totally fall apart. So it definitely gives you an opportunity to do that. I get a lot of questions, a lot of emails and DMs from people about Poshmark. Some of them I can't help with. They're like customer service stuff, and I can't help with those. But I think there's ways to, like I said, there's ways to get the information without spending all of the money to go. I do think Arizona is more of an expense because a lot of people are going to have to fly there and buy a ticket. I think that there's probably a lot more opportunities for Airbnbs and to share rooms and houses with people, so it makes it that more affordable. Poshfest usually includes a light breakfast and lunch, and then there's a party the last night which has hors d'oeuvres and drinks. So I'm not sure what they're planning on doing this year. Last year, the people were upset that there was no vegetarian options, which I completely understand. There were no options for people who had special needs, like food, like gluten-free or food allergies. And so people were ordering Uber Eats to come to the conference. So that was kind of a bummer. But, you just got to know that that's the way that conferences are sometimes. I've even been to a conference where the whole buffet was supposed to be gluten-free and they just had regular bread on it. So you never know what you're going to get when you go to these conferences. When I get all these questions and when I do these videos, people write a lot of questions onto the videos, and I try to answer as many questions as I can, but unfortunately I don't have all day to sit here and answer everyone's questions. I do still run a reselling business, and there's a lot of YouTubers who are using YouTube as a platform to make money instead of reselling, but I actually like reselling. And so for me, I need to have time to be able to run my business. So what I've done is I've created a Patreon account, and I'll put the link in the description if you want to join. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to have my entire Poshmark seller school on there. Everything I learn at Poshfest, I will be putting in there. There's weekly videos from me. There are, I think, 10 spots left for the patron that has a monthly coaching session with me. So there's all sorts of opportunities on there to learn different things and to have access to me, which is what I'm hoping I can achieve with having this set up there. I tried different ways to get it set up on my website or to be able to, set up somehow on my website, but the Patreon is the best way and it's the most comprehensive for me to be able to put everything on there. So I'm excited. I hope some of you will join me on there if you want. I think instead of buying the Poshmark Seller School, to actually have it released week by week with new lessons on there and updated information from me, that is great. If you've already purchased Poshmark Seller School, then you will have access to that forever. That will never go away, but the updated stuff will be on the Patreon account. So, Poshfest, I think it's a personal decision, and you should not put your business or your finances in harm's way just to go. It's not that important that you need to do that. But if you want to meet people and you feel like building a community and networking, then it is a good place. Last year they had people there to set up to show you how to take better pictures. They had people there to help you write better descriptions. They had people there to help you do all sorts of stuff. So I can imagine every year it's gotten better and better. I can imagine this year it's probably going to be even better and even bigger. So, I just don't want anyone to feel like they have to go to Poshfest because everyone else is talking about it and they're going and they said they bought their ticket. So the hype doesn't always match the conference. And so I'm also, for Eleni and I, we turn this into like our vacation. Eleni and I usually go on some kind of vacation every year together. And we've been doing this for many years. So it's excited for us because we like to go to Vegas. So for us, we can make this a Vegas, Arizona trip. And, that's going to be a fun time for us. So I would love to meet all of you there, but there's plenty of opportunities to meet me and to have access to me and talk to me and ask me questions. So if you feel like you want to go to meet people like me that are, like the Deal Queen and all of the other Poshmark sellers on Instagram, then I think it's fine, but don't spend the money if you don't have it. I would reinvest the money. If you are on a budget, I would reinvest the money you would spend on a ticket into inventory to make more money for your business, and just let the people who are going share the information for you and get it secondhand from Instagram. But like I said, there's so much FOMO when it comes to Poshfest, and everyone's on Instagram and everyone's sharing their pictures, and we're going to feel it when it comes to eBay Open. Everyone's going to be sharing eBay Open and they're going to parties and they're, doing all these things. But I definitely, last year at eBay Open, I went to 2 sessions and I went to some of the keynotes, and I just was not impressed with eBay Open, especially their tickets are $500 plus the room, plus the ticket. And it's in July in Vegas, which no, thank you. I'm never doing that again. It was 124 degrees last year when we went. So, so people are giving some suggestions in the chat. If you live close by, they would suggest it. If you have to fly or live far away, they wouldn't suggest it. So, it's a personal preference. And the comparison to eBay Open, you have to remember, like I said in the beginning, eBay Open is it's just different. Like, there are just different people there. There's all sorts of people of every age selling everything you can imagine, selling very niche products. And so it's very different. There are wholesale vendors at Poshfest. However, and I said this on my live on Instagram, there are free conferences you can go to meet wholesalers. The ASD is one of them. There's ASD is in Vegas twice a year. There's a fashion one in New York and Atlanta, and you just have to look them up. But if you're a buyer or you're interested in buying these items, the attendance is free. So it's much easier to go to those And, the conference is free. And the ASD shows also have sessions. eBay is usually there. Amazon is there. They have speakers all day, every day. It's like a 5-day conference. And there's education there that's free. So if you're interested in doing boutique and learning wholesale and doing those kind of things, I honestly would recommend going to one of the bigger wholesale shows than I would going to Poshfest. If you're interested in buying the brands that are only being sold on Poshmark, then, then come to Poshfest. But if you are really interested in like meeting different brands and learning different things about the brands, then I would go to more of an ASD show or something like that, because that is where you're really going to meet the bigger players in the wholesale industry. You can network. I found a lot of cool stuff. I did go to that last year in March. So it's in March and August, I think, in Vegas. And I went to that last year in March, and it was interesting. I did meet quite a few people. There's a ton of just beauty products and fashion and shoes and jewelry and everything you can imagine. There's vendors there for it. So if you want more of a global and bigger way to meet people, you need to go to an actual wholesale show versus coming to Poshfest. Poshfest last year had a few vendors. I don't know, there were like 6 or 8 of them. The year I went in 2017, it seemed like there were more vendors, like 8 or 10. And so there's different things like that. Last year, they also had the post office there. They had Dymo there, the label printer. And there were a couple like little smaller vendors there that were having services too. So I think Dymo gave away 2 or 3 of the printers, but it's just kind of, you learn. It's just going to be different. So, tickets are more expensive this year than they were last year, but that's typical with any conference. Like I said, eBay's are $500, and most conferences, I've rarely been to a conference in my lifetime where the tickets are less than $200. So I don't think that that is an outrageous price. I think it's right in line with other conferences. So if you're not used to going to conferences, then just know that the price for this conference is in line with other conferences of this sort, other blogging conferences, food conferences, social media conferences. Any of those that I've been to have all been like $175, $200 to $300. And those are typically for the multiple day like events. It's not crazy. So, it's not that crazy. But anyway, so I just wanted to hop on real quick and talk about it. I'm glad that there are quite a few of you joining me this morning. If you have any questions about it or you want me to talk about anything, just feel free to put it in the chat. And if you're watching this after the fact, I will state what the question is and then answer it for people. Let's see. So right now, so as of Sunday, today's the 5th, May 5th, the tickets are on sale for ambassadors. They go on sale tomorrow. The conference is in Arizona, and it's it's October 4th and 5th, it says here. So, that's about it. But if you're considering going, it's a fun time. But if you can't afford it, or you have other things going on, or if it's going to be a stretch, or you're nervous about flying, I wouldn't worry about it. It's like I said, the most stress you're going to have from not going is seeing everyone's posts about it constantly, posts leading up to it, posts during it, posts after it. So you can be assured that I will be sharing my experience there. All the information I'm learning there, I will make sure that I share it for everyone. So if no one has any other questions, then I am going to go. I need to list some stuff on Poshmark and eBay. But I appreciate all of you. And like I said, if you want to join my Patreon, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be really great. And the link for that will be in the description for the video. And it's also on my Instagram link. But it's just patreon.com/ Bexa boss lady. So that's pretty much as easy as it is. But I'm also having a class on the second Wednesday of every month that's going to be at Unique Thrift Store at 8 a.m. We're having a private shopping experience an hour before the store opens. And I'm going to go over kind of what I look for in the store. The prices are rising in thrift stores. How do you get around that? I'm going to bring donuts. And there's, I think, 4 spots left for the class coming up this week on May 8th. So if you're interested in that, the link will be for the tickets in my description of the video too. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And hopefully I will get to meet some of you either in my Patreon or at Poshfest. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.